What's going on, Guardians? It's Tizzle here, and in this video, we'll be going over the new exotic weapon that just came out, Tessellation. Much like Quicksilver Storm that released at this time last year, this is a pre-order bonus for pre-ordering the final shape. So I decided to pre-order final shape and see what this weapon was all about. And let me tell you, this thing absolutely slaps. It is a pyramid ship themed fusion rifle. It has a charge time of 660 milliseconds. It has the perks Polygonal Rifling to reduce recoil and increase stability, Projection Fuse to increase range, and then we have this neat little perk called Irreducible. Hold reload to consume your grenade to load a large projectile shape language that generates an elemental explosion on impact. Believe me, this explosion goes hard. And then lastly, we have Composite Stock for a slight increase to stability and handling. And for the intrinsic trait, we have Property Undecidable. This weapon instrument topology adapts its damage type to match your equipped subclass. Final blows grant grenade energy. And let me tell you, the grenade energy it grants is no joke. Demolitionist on special weapons grants 20% grenade energy, and this is doing at least the same amount. But what is amazing about this perk is it also stacks with things like Devour or Threat of Generation, which also give grenade energy back, so you can get your grenade very frequently if you are getting kills with this weapon. This weapon reminds me of Traveler's Chosen, but in the special slot. Traveler's has Osmosis, so it can be any element. Well, so can this thing, but what is great about it is in the energy slot, so for things like Strand and Stasis, you can now run 3 of one element type. This is huge for builds, as there are lots of fragments that synergize with getting weapon kills of the element type that you're running. For instance, I was running this with Solar Hunter, and then this weapon was able to activate Ember of Empyrean to allow me to keep up Radiant and Restoration on solar kills. I also had an Osmosis hand cannon on, so I was able to run triple solar. So yeah, the build potential of this thing is crazy. It also works with all reserves. If you look at the background footage, I put different reserve mods on and switched subclasses so that it matches the reserve type. At base it holds 16 shots, with 1 reserve mod it holds 19, with 2 it holds 21, and with 3 it holds 25. For damage of the weapon, it shoots just like an adaptive frame. I used the Techian Force adaptive frame fusion rifle and it hits 7 bolts for 64-17 damage per bolt, and Tessellation hits the exact same. But then when you consume your grenade and juice it up, it hits for 137,058 and 7878 damage, for a total of 144,936. For comparison, a honed edge ×4 Izanagi's burden shot hits for 160,132. So this weapon is only about 10% weaker than that, but it doesn't require a precision hit, and it costs you your grenade instead of 4 ammo like Izanagi's burden. As well, it does decent AoE damage. This AoE can damage you as well, so just watch out for that. So you can get ad clear with the base version, high single target damage for champions or other high health targets, and grenade energy akin to Enhanced Demolitionist. And it can synergize with literally any subclass. I can't stress how awesome this weapon is. And of course, it also works with things like Radiant and Weapon Surges. As you can see in the background, with 3 times Solar Surge I hit for 22% more damage, and then I proc Radiant and 3x Solar Surge and it hits for 221,028, which is 52.5% more than the base damage, thanks to the 25% from Radiant and 22% from the 3 Solar Surges. As well, when I swap surges and subclasses, you can see that you get the other weapon surge, which is to be expected. I can't say enough good things about this weapon, and it doesn't even have a catalyst. I can't wait for final shape so we can get the catalyst and unlock its full potential. This weapon is such a jack of all trades. Much like Quicksilver Storm, where it can deal high single target damage on top of being a good utility weapon, that is how this thing is. Also, the sights on it are so cool. When you shoot it in fusion rifle form, the 2 top cup-like circles light up, but then when you consume your grenade, you get all 6 symbols lighting up. It's just such a cool looking weapon. And on top of all that, we have an unstoppable fusion rifle on the artifact this season, and we also have these mods that can create elemental orbs which apply subclass status effects for each subclass. Of course, there isn't one for the redheaded stepchild Stasis, because Bungie seems to hate Stasis, but on the topic of these elemental orbs, that is one thing this weapon doesn't do. It doesn't apply Scorch, Volatile, Jolt, Slow, or Sever, or anything like that. I tested it a bunch and never got it to proc in any form from firing this weapon. Perhaps that is what the catalyst will bring, which would make this already awesome weapon even more insane. Anyways, that's gonna do it for the video. I hope you found it helpful and informative, and if you did, then a like would be greatly appreciated. And if you want more helpful Destiny 2 content like this, be sure to subscribe. Lastly, if you made it this far, then I thank you so much for watching. Enjoy Season of the Witch, and take care.